and welcome to this second part of our Guinea Pig project, where we are customising this guinea pig to make it look more like a real guinea pig and putting electronics in it. So in today's video, first we're going to work on the accessory that we are making for this guinea pig. This is the 3D printed carrot that Paul made in the last video, and he put a magnet in his 3D printed carrot so that it can operate a reed switch, because the guinea pig is going to have a reed switch in its mouth. So next in this video, Paul is going to spray paint the carrot. So because this carrot has got a magnet on it, Paul can just put it on the end of the drill like that and turn it round while he's spraying it so that the paint will go on nice and evenly. Carrot's finished now, and this is how it looks. What do you think of it, Paul?
That looks pretty good, doesn't it? Yeah, with the that particular colour orange and the markings in it, it looks quite like a carrot.
Especially from a distance.
And it's nicely sized proportion to Rusty.
Yeah. So the next thing that we're going to work on today is replacing this Space Wars IC module from the snap circuits with a different module. In a previous video, Paul replaced a snap circuits switch with a reed switch, and today Paul is going to replace this Space War IC module with a MP3 module, because part of the electronics in the guinea pig is going to be an MP3 module. That MP3 module is going to play a guinea pig weaking when you switch the guinea pig on. And this carrot, when you bring it to the guinea pig's mouth, is going to operate a reed switch that's going to be in the guinea pig, which will then stop the track from playing on the MP3 player. So the idea is that the guinea pig is hungry, so it's weaking. You give it a carrot, and that makes it stop weaking because it's got its carrot. So the first thing Paul's going to do is, after he's taken this apart, he's going to desolder the module that's in here, ready to replace it with our MP3 module.
Okay, that's got the original board out, leaving the 5 terminals for us to fix the MP3 player to.
So, to mount this MP3 player, Paul,
This MP3 player onto
you said you're going to put some slots in here for the pins to go through.
We've got to mount this MP3 player on top of there and bring some wires through and solder to these 5 snap connectors. So what we're going to do is cut a couple of lines there and there so that the pins drop through.
Yeah.
You've still got access to the MP3 player to put the SD card in, and you can still see the power light on and off.
So this is a schematic diagram of the pins on the MP3 player module.
Yeah.
And there's 16 pins. And you are going to solder 5 wires to 5 of these pins.
Correct, yeah.
Because there's 5 pins on the snap circuits module.
5 little studs, yeah, that we're going to solder those wires to.
And the first pin that you're going to solder to is going to be pin 1, and that's for the positive wire.
Yeah, that's the plus 5 volt supply to the MP3 player.
And you're going to use a red wire for that.
A red wire, yes.
So that's the red wire soldered on, and the next wire is going to be for the ground.
That's right, which is the just the negative side of the battery, 0 volts, you might call it.
And you're going to solder that to pin 7.
Yes.
So the next 2 wires are going to be for the speaker.
Yeah, pins 6 and 8. We're using 2 yellow wires to connect the speaker. That's where the sound's going to play from. The guinea pig sound's going to play out of the speaker.
And you're going to twist those 2 wires together to differentiate them
from any other yellow wires that we might use, yes.
Yes. So you're going to solder another 4 wires,
Yes,
and they've got to be yellow because you haven't got any other colours in,
right, yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah,
that's why you have to twist the 2 speaker wires together.
And the last 4 wires.
So these are going to be connected to pins 9, 11, 12 and 13. And these are going to be to trigger.
Yeah, these will give us different ways to trigger the MP3 player to play its sound.
But there's only actually 1 connection left on the snap circuit board because you can only have 5.
Yeah, on the little green plastic snap circuits module, it's only got 5 studs, so we can only connect 1 of those wires at any one time.
At any one time. But we'll go into that when you solder the wires to the actual snap circuit board.
Yeah.
So you've soldered those 4 trigger wires on now, and you've labelled them A, B, C, D.
Yep.
And you've also labelled the pins on the snap.
Yeah, the snap circuit module.
But before we go on to talk about that, I've been reflecting on the first Guinea Pig Project version 1 that we started early last year.
Yeah.
And I've had some thoughts on that, so I'll just share those with you folks and with Paul now. The first thing that I think I got wrong last year when I started my project was that I wanted to do too much all at once. So rather than just concentrating on sounds like I am in my project now, I was wanting to do the heating, I was wanting to do the purring, I was wanting to use loads of sensors. So that was a big mistake. I think the second thing I got wrong was the size of the model that I was choosing. So first I was going to try and use this Hansa guinea pig, and then I ended up settling on altering a Douglas Otis guinea pig. So I was using a really small model and wanting to put loads of components inside it without thinking, how am I going to manage to get these components inside? And then another thing I think that was a mistake is that Paul would sort of go and solder stuff together, and I was really kind of like excluded from that. Like I didn't have a clue what pins things were wired up to with the MP3 player or how it was working. Because I was sort of excluded from that, I guess my viewers were as well. The main thing was, though, that it was just too small and there's far too many components. I mean, I had to make like the bottom of the guinea pig like a coffee table, because it had to act as a lid, because it was going to be no spare room at all inside. Whereas now I realise, when I look at other products, normally you have like a little box inside a model, and then it's full of stuffing around the little box. So, yeah, it was pitiful, really, the aesthetics of it in the end, and we couldn't even fit everything inside of it. So I've learnt a lot from that. So this rusty guinea pig is much bigger than the model I was trying to put stuff in last time. And as we're just focusing on one element, sounds, it's not going to be very big, the box that we've got to put these components in. I think it's best to start off like that, Paul, because you've got to know, are they going to fit in first before you start and think about adding anything else?
You're quite right, yeah, we started off the wrong way round. Initially, it's best to have the guinea pig too big and the electronics smaller.
So to finish off in this video, we're just going to talk for a minute about wiring this.
Okay, yep, so this black wire will be soldered to the ground stud on the other side there, like that. So the red wire is going to be soldered to the plus 5 volt stud on the back again. The 2 speaker wires are going to be soldered to that stud and that stud on the back. And one of the trigger wires is going to be soldered to that stud. So when all that soldering is done...
Are you just choosing that trigger wire randomly at first?
No, I'm going to start off with A, see how that works, and then replace it by B, etc, etc.
Okay.
So when all that wiring's done, you'll be able to just simply use this MP3 player in your snap circuit modules by clipping it onto the board and clipping your pieces to it. No more fiddly soldering, which excludes you.
Yes. So folks, that should make it a lot clearer and a lot easier to understand as we proceed. So that's it for this part of the Guinea Pig Project. See you in part 3 real soon. Thanks for watching as always, and see you next time.